Module of the week. Today is an update to a popular one, and it was released a little while ago, maybe a week ago. But I asked Gavin to hold on to it till I was on the podcast. It's an update to CBValidation, and CBValidation got some new powers in this latest update with nested constraints. So now you can define that incoming key is supposed to be a struct and what values it should have, keys and values there, and that can go as deep as you need it to go. So obviously you can way overdo it and have a very complicated structure. But there's many times you need some sort of nested data coming in, especially with all our APIs nowadays. That joins, I believe this was in the last release, but if it wasn't, that joins array items, where you can also define that an array will come in and all of the items of the array need to be a certain shape. Whether that's they all need to be numbers or dates or themselves be nested constraints and objects that come in. So that lets you do, I think, basically any shape of data that needs to come in right here in CBValidation now.
Now, did you write CBValidation from the beginning? I know you're pretty involved in it.
No, I did not write it from the beginning, but I do love it, and I use it in every project. You always need validation. I can't think of a project I've worked on that didn't need to validate user input coming in, and it's just, to me, the easiest way, and I love that it's consistent across all the projects I work on, so I don't have to think about doing it again. In fact, I just was helping a client, and they weren't too sure about all the modules yet, and so I was doing handwritten validation, and I forgot how many if statements you end up writing. Just for each different validation rule, and then collecting all the messages and checking if there's validation. And I'm just so used to CBValidation doing that for me. So
yeah, that's awesome. I think I ever told you a couple of years ago, I first discovered CBValidation for a project. And true story, I was so blown away and excited by it that I actually subscribed to Patreon and started giving you guys money and not giving us money because CBValidation was just that awesome. Everything else is awesome too, but that, whatever reason, that just blew me away that day. And
nice.
Love seeing.
So you can check out the latest and greatest on ForgeBox or at the official docs, coldbox-validation.ortusbooks.com. Or if you don't want to remember that whole thing, if you go to ortusbooks.com, you can see and search all of our different products, commercial, open source, frameworks, modules. There's a lot there.
Paste the link to Ortus Books in case somebody can't spell Ortus Books.
Or doesn't want to. So that's it on the ForgeBox module. Dan, how about you tell us?
That was our ForgeBox module of the week, brought to you by Modernize or Die Podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Ortus Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Ortus Solutions YouTube channel.